Hello. Good morning. Good morning it is here. I don't know what it is with you, obviously, but it's morning here. It's 20 to 12 actually on the 5th of January 2026. Thank you for joining me, Cal Doonican, for a cup of tea. We're going to have a cup of tea together, me and you, and it is going to be lovely. And this is number one of 52 podcasts that I'm going to be doing in 2026, and you could have listened to some other ones by now, couldn't you? Or this may be your first one. I hope it's not your last one. I want this podcast to be like sitting down with a good friend and having a cup of tea and just something that'll just make you and me feel a little bit better. That's basically it. It's not going to be exciting. No, definitely not. It's going to be like a comforting, gentle, uplifting, up to an hour. Time. We're free and easy with time, aren't we? Anyway, let's get the kettle on. Now, usually, I plan to be doing this you joining me for a cup of tea in my van, and it's a lovely cosy van, generally speaking, but at the moment here on this date, January 2026, it's very, very cold. You can hear the kettle boiling there, beautiful, and my van, I can't get the heating to work, so that's a little bit of a shame, but you know, we're going to do it in the house today. We're going to meet up in the house today. I'm boiling that kettle to make you a cup of tea. Now, why am I doing this podcast? Well, I shall tell you why. Because for 37 years I was a mental health professional, and I worked for the NHS here in England. And I think the NHS was a beautiful thing, the greatest invention of these islands, in my opinion. And it was a great joy to earn my living helping people and meeting lovely people, and it was good. Now, one of the bonuses of that lovely job was that that's me just pouring your cup of tea. Was that in order to keep people in it, because to be frank, they used to find it hard keeping people in that job at one time. They let us retire early on a full pension, which is lovely. Everybody should have the chance to do that. And I retired. I took my pension 6 years ago now, and it is lovely. I've got to admit it. I do enjoy it. But I do also miss doing something to help other people, because my life is comparatively selfish these days, and helping others also helps me, and it always has done. Now, I may meander. I do apologise for meandering a bit. What? Oh yes, that's your kettle boiled. Let me just pour that for you. There we go. There you go. You can see the steam rising off that cup of tea. So yeah, what I was going to say was that I want to do this podcast so that it is that's my dog shaking itself. Well, one of the dogs, that's Monty having a good shake. He's a lovely boy, isn't he? So this is kind of a gentle resource for helping people look after their emotional well-being or contentment, happiness, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to do a little podcast each week. I'm going to do a little model for understanding our emotional well-being. I'm going to say it's like think of it like a rechargeable battery, our little happy battery inside ourselves. I'm going to think with you about what wears down our battery, the stresses of life, what runs our battery down, how we recognise when our happy battery is low or when it's nicely charged, and what we can do to keep it topped up. Now, what qualifies me to do this? Well, I was doing it for 37 years, but more than that really. Before I was doing that job, or after 2 years while I was training doing that job, I experienced a serious mental health problem myself, which was life-threatening, when I was 21. Thanks to the fantastic NHS and the people who worked in it, I was able, with their help, I was able to be saved and go on to have a wonderful, fantastic, touch wood, so far, very enjoyable life. And it is all down to them in their wonderful NHS and the help I received at that time, but also down to the choices I was able to make due to what I'd learnt in them first 2 years and what I continued to enthusiastically learn after that due to, it's a great motivator, having been in a psychiatric hospital. It was on the wrong side of the counter. It was a great motivator to not return and to, most of all, stay in control of my own life. So, that sounds pretty heavy, doesn't it? But I don't want any of this to be heavy. I want this to be comforting, like I said, like having a cup of tea with a mate. Now, I had to say all that stuff to get us started, because why would you give me the time of day? Otherwise, no reason to. But I hope that some people will find this enjoyable, educational, comforting, uplifting. Just as I listen to a few podcasts myself, I've got to say my favourite is Blind Boy. So thank you, Blind Boy, for inspiring me with your superb podcasts that tremendously help and inspire me. So I'm hoping that I can pass on that favour, and that there will be some people out there who find this helpful, either now or at some point in the future. And that's the magic of sticking it on the internet, isn't it? These podcasts are going to start on YouTube, because that's all I know how to do now. But then gradually, and hopefully if you've listened in future podcasts and come back to this, you'll notice an improvement as my knowledge of doing this gets better. But hopefully, more importantly, you'll feel the benefit for yourself of putting some of these things into practice. It's nothing too complicated. It's stuff I think should be taught to kids in school, because it's that straightforward, and it should be part of how we think about each day. Most people think about our physical health and keeping ourselves well, and looking after our emotional well-being, to me, should be right up there with it. So, I think I've broadly covered the aims of this podcast. I hope you're still listening. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is, because I want to keep it light. Now, I want to break it up by each week. I am going to play you, anybody who happens to be listening, one of my songs, what I have wrote myself. Now, creating, as we will look at much more in all the future weeks to come, is a great way of getting rid of negative energy, fighting the drains on our emotional well-being battery and getting us something called flow, which again I will go into more properly in future podcasts. But you can think of flow, or I do, as like a fast charge for our emotional well-being battery. My main fast charge these days, my main way of promoting my emotional well-being that is completely under my control is writing songs and playing songs and playing my guitar and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that's that. Just to break up the day, break up the podcast, I will be in the middle, somewhere in the middle, I will be singing one of my songs. Oh, that's a special treat for all of us. You may wish to go and make yourself another cup of tea while I sing a song. You may even pause this now. That'd be nice. Pause it, make a cup of tea and have a listen to the song. That would be beautiful. The song I'm going to sing this week is a song called Get Off Our Land. And I'll tell you more about that in a minute when I have just topped up both of our cups of tea. Let's just pause there for a second and go and put the kettle on. See you in a minute. Right, okay. Well, I hope you've renewed your cup of tea. I've warmed mine up as well. I've got to admit, I did whip out to the van to see if the heater started to work. It hasn't, and it's freezing cold outside. So my hands are very cold now. But you know what? I'm still going to play this lovely song for you. It may be strewn with errors, but when you're having a cup of tea with a mate, it doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter too much. Now, I should say this song is called Get Off My Land. All the songs I will play on this podcast are available out there in the internet world on, Spotify and Amazon and, all those things. I have got CDs of this song, Cal Doonican, the Cal Doonican album, or what could be referred to. Yeah, they're very handy for allotments anyway. They'll scare the birds off. But if you dangle them from string. But yes, they are available out there on the internet, on whichever of those platforms, that's what people call them, even on YouTube. In fact, on YouTube, there's even a recorded live version by my friend Stuart Davison, the man from Ugly, of this Get Off My Land from a number of years ago. But anyway, that's what this is called. It's a song inspired by a book by Kevin Kay, by the investigative journalist Kevin Cahill, who pointed out that in the UK, 0.6% of the population own 69% of the land. So there's a land monopoly. And when I read that and thought about it, it did make me very angry and seething with rage. There's not much you can do, is there? So it's out of my hands to currently start a revolution. So I write songs about things, and that helps me, makes me feel better. It's good for my emotional well-being. So this is it. I'm going to play it now. Get Off My Land. I was walking through the fields one day when a big fat man stood in my way. I said, I should have practiced it, shouldn't I? I was walking through the fields one day when a big fat man stood in my way. I said, how you doing? What a nice day, but that big fat man still stood in my way. He said, get off my land. Like that, with a posh voice, you know. This is what he said. He said, don't you know who I am? I'm a powerfully rich and powerful man, and like my father and his father and his father before, and his father and his father and his father before. Well,
his father and his father and his father before. Well, we own the land and we make the law. That's right. So get off my land. Get off my land. Get off my land. Well, I would have liked to smack him on the chin, but he was carrying a shotgun and he stank of gin. So I went home in a seething rage, and I looked the fecker up on an internet page, and sadly what he told me was true. He owns the ground beneath me and you, and I learned even more astounding things that make me want to scream, like 0.6% of the population own 69% of this land. These families got their wealth through William C., the Norman conqueror of the 11th century, consolidated wealth through slavery, through brutal exploitation at home and overseas, through children on the floor in factories, losing arms and legs to cruel machines, the land handed down through history never came to them through democracy. So, brothers and sisters, please join me in saying, get off our land. Get off our land. Get off our land. Oh, what a shocker. Should have practiced it first. Never mind. What a tremendously flawed performance. But I tell you what, I'm not going to do anything about that. I'm not going to try and do it again, because I am embracing failure as recognised by embracing my flaws, as recommended by many people, including Mr. Blind Boy and his fantastic podcast. So, yeah, hopefully this could be some good about that, come out of that. You might think, well, he did that terrible, but there was some bits of that I thought was quite a good song. I might look it up on the Amazon or Spotify or Apple Music, and have a good listen to that. It wasn't too bad at all. Who was he? Oh, his name is Cal Doonican. That's right, yes. And also I record with my friends lots of other songs, what I've written myself, under the names of Robot Radio, that's one band. Planet Loco, there's another one. I was in a band called the Maharis. They were very good. I didn't write the songs, they were written by another chap. But yeah, they're worth looking up, in my opinion, the Maharis. Yeah, that's about it for now, isn't it? Oh, yes, no, and I should say Cartoon Killers. I'm currently doing songs as Cartoon Killers, so it'd be great if you looked up then. But yes, so back to the thing. That's the kettle boiling. Let's get a little top up. Would you like a top up? There it is now. Oh, fantastic. Listen to that steam roaring out of there. Oh, beautiful. Yes. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, let's top that up. Have you got your cuppa ready? Yeah, so, like I say, I'm hoping, well, my aim, you never know what might happen in this world, but my aim is to do one of these podcasts every week, nice and casual. It's going to be sloppy, like this one, but hopefully the sound quality will improve, and there will be other improvements as time goes by. But I hope you'll stick with me anyway, and we'll get to know each other. And, yeah, what we'll be doing is, I suppose, the principle is, every one of us is a beautiful and wonderful, unique creation on this earth, and we owe it to ourselves to look after ourselves. And it can be a hard and demanding world, and that can run us down and make it difficult for us to do our best in the world. So that's why I want to put this out there as another little tool to help us look after our emotional well-being. Now, I am going to be... it's not a selfish thing to do to look after yourself. In fact, it puts you in a better position to look after those you care about, or the people you want to be caring about in the future. Maybe you haven't met them yet, who knows. But so over the coming weeks, I will be looking at the same things over and over again, and each week I'll be playing a lovely little song by me, maybe. Maybe lovely is what I'm saying. But yes, in terms of emotional well-being or contentment, I will be looking at a model for thinking about our contentment. I'll be talking about, we'll call that, I don't know, emo battery or something like that. We'll have to think of a word for it. But think of it like a big rechargeable battery in ourselves that we carry around, and it looks after our contentment. Our happiness feels a bit strong, but you could call it a happy battery. But that keeps us going around feeling okay, feeling good, and how that can be run down by events, things that happen to us, experiences, challenges, the challenges of life, and it can be run down tremendously by our thoughts, what we think about ourselves, feeling disappointed with ourselves or cross, all that sort of stuff. It can be run down, but in the same way we can charge it up. We can make ourselves feel more content. We can recharge our contentment battery, our happy battery, through things we do, experiences we have or make, and most of all through the things we think, the things we tell ourselves. So be looking at that, and that we'll start with that next week. That's going to be the main one we'll look at next week, and then over our nice cup of tea. And then in future weeks we'll look at stuff like how we recognise when our battery's running low, our happy battery and contentment battery's running low. We'll all have different signs. I know my signs, and we'll look at recognising what signs we show within ourselves when our happy battery is running low. So, for example, I'll just give you one example. For me, if my happiness battery, my contentment battery is running low, I notice with food, because I will crave sugary nonsense food, processed foods, biscuits, that sort of thing. Whereas when my battery's nice and charged, I want to eat healthy, I'm not craving comfort food. Different people are different. I know many people I've done training back when I was a working man, people would often say that when their battery was low, they might not eat, for example. They might not want to eat at all. They might be off food, or they might, it was quite common, to be fair, craving that sort of comfort food. But different people have different signs. That's just one of my personal ones there. So we'll explore all that in another week, and look at signs when our battery is nice and good. What are we like? What do we notice in ourselves when our battery is well charged? So I did say there, didn't I, that when I'm feeling good, my contentment battery is well charged. I've kept it topped up. I will make good choices about food and nutrition and stuff like that. That's just one example. So we'll look at that, because it's better. It's like in your car, isn't it? If your flashing warning light comes on when your engine's just about to collapse, that brings about great panic, and you've got to rush to do something. Much better if your engine was to say, hey, at the moment everything is beautifully tickety-boo, but you might want to just look at this particular thing. You might just want to add a tiny bit of water to the whatever. I don't understand cars. But just keep us in that good place when things are going good. So we'll look at that. And then we'll spend a lot of time, I will spend a lot of time, and hopefully you'll join me, for a cup of tea in future weeks of this coming year, looking at how we charge our batteries, how we keep our contentment batteries well charged, and our happy batteries well charged. And I'll be looking at doing things, experiences, and thoughts. How we think about things is a massive thing. Most of the things we'll talk about will be gentle charges, like having a cup of tea with a friend. But there's also things that we can do that really give our happy battery a real boost. And if you're interested, I'll explore something called 5 Ways to Wellbeing, which was quite a well-researched project here in the UK about charging that happy battery, and also looking at something called flow, which is a term made up, publicised well by a school of positive psychology. But anyway, that's for something my friend Blind Boy's talked about as well. But that's something for one of the future weeks. So I really hope you'll come back and we'll have another cup of tea, and I'll torment you with another song. And my aim is to do this for the next 52 weeks. That's a challenge to myself. It will be creating a little bit of stress for myself, but that's when we grow, isn't it? A little bit of stress, building them mind muscles, and it will be good for me. It will charge my well-being battery. And hopefully, you never know, it would be lovely if a couple of people out there in the world think, actually, some of them songs are all right. I might look into them songs of that Cal Doonican fella. That'd be nice too, I've got to admit. That would be nice. Is that everything for now? I think it might be, There's my cup of tea. Is it still there? Delicious. Is there anything else to add? I should say, I did 37 years as a mental health professional. I am retired, as I did say. And during that 37 years, I did worked with loads of fantastic people in loads of interesting places. I also got the chance to do my master's in health science, and that's where I got a lot of this. I did the research bit that informs what I'll be talking about now. Now, the beauty of it all now is that I am no longer working as a mental health professional. I'm just a person now, and I can also talk about my own experience and tell you why all that learning, all that research made absolute sense to me as an individual, and how it was able to inform me staying well and thriving and surviving and all that, which is what all of us want, isn't it, I think? And I'm talking to the boys now, the little doggies on the floor. You all right, lads? Okay. So, yes, I'll stop going on now. Thanks ever so much for joining me. This is initially, you will find it on my YouTube channel. So, that all like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. I think that's what people say, and I'm sure it is good. And, I hope you'll come back and we shall talk again. All the very best. Bye for now.